Today, I'm in conversation with Mr. Chakravarti. Mr. Chakravarti is the Global Ambassador of World Packaging Organization and a member on the executive board, and was recently awarded the most influential leader in packaging industry. He is the CEO, Managing Director of EcoBliss India, and an honorary advisor for Pharmaxil, Pharmaceutical Export Promotion Council, Government of India. He is also the president of INBA, an Indo-Netherlands Business Association, and was chairman for the Indian Institute of Packaging, Hyderabad. A winner of multiple awards and accolades, such as the World Star Awards, the highest in packaging excellence, for 5 years in a row, and the lone winner of the Amerister Award for Pharmaceutical Packaging Innovation from India. He has over 3.5 decades of experience in paper, printing, and packaging. He has published numerous articles in various magazines and has chaired various sessions on various topics and mentored different pharma and packaging programs in FICCI, CII, IIP, CPHI, APF, IPC, PEF, and so many other platforms.
Thank you, Mr. Chakravarti, so much for joining us for Threading Thoughts podcast today. It's an honor to have you with us.
It's my pleasure to, Ms. Mridula.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chakravarti, consumer behavior is rapidly evolving, especially in the current pandemic situation. So, as technology enables remote consultations and less physical interactions between patients and doctors, what role does packaging actually play in consumer education?
Ms. Mridula, I must really congratulate you. You really hit on the dot on the point which is required under this pandemic situation. Well, frankly speaking, in the beginning of the year, much before this COVID knowledge with all of us, I was casually mentioning in one of the opening addresses in an international conclave, I think probably in the January or something like that. And I was predicting the year 2020 will be a game changer and it will be a big year of disruption. Well, we never predicted actually the outbreak of this pandemic COVID-19 then. We really didn't know. Probably China must knowing it. We did not really expect that. Today, you can imagine the industry is really witnessing a wave of disruption. You all agree. The world is literally upside down and believe you me, Mridula, it has changed forever. It will never be, the situation will not be like before. Of course, for good or bad, the time decides in the future, but it's completely changed forever. The pandemic can probably be called the mother of disruptions, at least for our generation, you must agree.
Right.
Life will never be the same. Yeah. But life will never be the same even after it gets settled down because people are already talking about new norms, getting adapted to the new norms and how we cope up with this situation itself, etc. You can say without any doubt, under the current circumstances, despite all these challenges and all, the only industry which is still surviving under the current, of course, the lockdown and unlockdown situation across the globe, of course, with the slew of hurdles and umpteen number of challenges, one must agree, it's pharmaceuticals and healthcare. This is the only industry. Of course, packaging industry being the integral part of the pharmaceutical industry is doing its bit under the pandemic situation. Well, given the life-saving and the life-sustaining nature of pharmaceuticals, one must agree the medical devices also, packaging really plays a vital role. Believe me, it's not only maintaining the product quality and efficacy throughout the supply chain gamut, right from research laboratories, converting and manufacturing, distributing throughout the supply chain till such time it reaches the patient. Throughout that, packaging really has a great role to play. Today, the healthcare industry also is witnessing unparalleled demand for personal protective equipment, whatever you call it, diagnostics kits, medical ventilators, and so on.
Right.
And everywhere you have this imprint of packaging, what I mean. And that leave alone the huge demands of hygiene products like sanitizers, hand rubs, whatsoever. Of course, the research efforts always, I believe, find the effective medicine, that is vaccine for sure, to combat the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. I think it's a little more far away now. A few more months, we are all optimistic. Well, packaging really plays a vital role in ensuring the safety and security of all the above items until they reach the patient. That's what I can say. Right.
Wonderful. And due to COVID-19, there is this surge in demand, as you were correctly mentioning just now, for the technologically advanced solutions. For example, self-administered drug delivery devices. And in developed countries, do we see the Indian pharma industry also adopting similar solutions? What will be the challenges before pharma packaging providers?
I can't refrain asking Ms. Mudula, are you a doctorate in pharmacy? Well, because you are asking all the apt questions, which I really was not predicting this. This is good for me and good for the audience also, my friends to listen. Well, I think it needs a little introspect actually. Bear with me for some time. Under the current pandemic situation, you all agree the consumer behavior had completely changed in every aspect, right? As you were mentioning, actually, the physical interaction between patients and doctors is declining. It's almost diminishing actually, rapidly. With the advanced digital communication, of course, being available now you and me are talking actually as if we are sitting opposite each other. So and we are able to see and feel each other. And the consultations also happen remotely in the similar fashion, much advanced fashion.
Right.
In fact, I would like to recall my statement. Packaging will be your second physician. That's a single statement. In fact, this statement was coined a year ago, and now it is very popular worldwide. Many of my peers and seniors also agreed with this. Under the pandemic situation, you also try to read this once more. The packaging will be your second physician, right? This is really apt under today's background. Imagine ease of administration for care,
Right.
the dosage accuracy, dose monitoring, of course, minimizing or zeroing medication errors. These are all the key factors apart from the safeguarding the drug efficacy, which we are just talking about. And in addition, providing the product information also along with the medicines. Of course, while following the regulatory framework, we cannot go beyond the regulatory framework. These are all the things actually, if you really introspect what packaging can do to mankind. Imagine this comes very handy in fulfilling all these requirements just we're talking about. Of course, when you mentioned it, it's really fact that India is still a developing country, and so really affordable and efficacious drugs are in high demand. But this doesn't really deter the accessibility of technological advancements to the customer. Just now we were talking about India is far ahead actually, and we are supplying almost 18% of the generic medicines and supplying to over 215 countries. Can you imagine? So with the mobile communication and what we're talking about, the pharma and packaging industries, both the industries as per me always have great synergies and we can call maybe consortial relationship. The innovation in each industry inspire the other to excel.
Right.
That's what I strongly believe. So also if you ask me a decade ago, probably we never thought the technologies like blockchain technology, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, IoT, and these are all integrated in the packaging today, and it's in your day-to-day life. So packaging has really to innovate and accelerate R&D efforts to keep up the technological advances, the requirements, yet remain competitive and not exceeding the regulatory framework. The changing dynamics and evolutions of people and human intelligence at much faster rate. I think nothing can be written off. Once we thought these things would never happen, but and these are all realities today, and ultimately helping the mankind. I strongly believe that.
That is so true. And things like, as you very correctly mentioned, in fact, I was watching a video where a drone actually delivered medical kits, right, and medicines. How far are we away from that?
Well, I think the Indian philosophy, It's not that it should not happen. It will happen here also. Imagine one of my friends was airlifted to Apollo from a remote village, and of course he could afford. Affordability is different. Accessibility
Right.
is different.
Absolutely. Very true.
And the chopper was arranged within a couple of hours, and he was airlifted. And you also hear a lot of logistically the hearts are being shipped by airdropped different places to safeguard the lives. So the drones are also reality even in India also. It's not that it's not available. You know what is, for example, in fact, I recently posted on LinkedIn also. They tied up with this airdrop organization, which really takes all the emergency and life-saving medicines to the remote and rural villages. I think in one of the countries, African countries, Nigeria, I think. It's already operational. Around 500 units that are being done already. These are all going to be a reality. And nothing will be fiction. Today's fiction will be tomorrow's reality.
Very well said. Very true. Today's fiction is tomorrow's reality. Who would have thought 2020 would start off this way?
It were predicted as
it threw everybody off, and the need for packaging, the need for emergency medication has risen dramatically. What are the trends in pharma packaging and medical devices you envisage for the future, going by the customer requirements and the industry demands, and how packaging should innovate to catch up on these trends?
Actually, I can say this is a little supplementary to what you asked a little before. Definitely, this is nothing but actually what are the trends currently and what you envisage in the future. How packaging has to innovate to catch up the demands, the requirements of the patients, and how the technology advances can be integrated into the packaging.
Okay.
So the future of pharma market, as per me, I think you all agree, will be having a target market approach rather than a mass market model. This is a predicament. In fact, we are already seeing the trends in catching some segments. Pharmaceuticals industry approach today is more user-centric. It has since evolved from the traditional methods, actually, the old system. Every development revolves around the patient needs, one must agree, because it's also it's a big influencing driver to shape up the market too. And it's more like a prevention than cure. And one need not wait the disease to happen to him, actually. The whole mapping. Can you imagine in some countries, it's just like your unique identity, Aadhaar card. Your complete body will be mapped, of course, under due security and strict security firewalls, etc. They won't be available in the public domain. And in the future, your gene will be scanned and completely diagnosed. In 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what are the likely diseases you might be getting it, going by the current health situation and the current diagnostic situation, what you are in. So accordingly, the medical advices also will depend on to prevent those kind of diseases or ailments which you might be getting in future. Imagine the technology, the advancement is so much. One can easily understand. In my childhood, 40 plus or 50 plus is senior citizens.
Right.
Nannies and grannies used to be 40 plus. My nanny used to be 42, 43. And today, if you call any 45, 40 lady, she will beat you to. Not only lady, even people.
Exactly, like men and women. The age has changed so much.
Exactly, and one more interesting thing I tell you. In my very childhood, I was very, very young. If somebody is suffering from diseases like cancer, means row to next, heaven or hell. So they will be taken out. In fact, literally, they leave about the advanced chemos. Even the basic chemos were also not available. Today, cancer is also just like another disease. You don't need to differentiate that as something. And COVID-19 itself, we are fighting it as well.
Right.
So coming to the subject, what we are talking about, the trends, what we are going to witness in the future. You might have heard about the inhalers.
Correct.
Inhaler means the general tendency is just to combat the regular flu or whatsoever when you are suffering from normal flu, etc., you use this inhaler. But the smart inhalers are doing much more, and they will be addressing more and more diseases, and they will have regulated drug disposal, very easy, convenient to the patients, and also they are integrated with near field communication chips. They actually tell you how much you have taken, and after that what you are going to, how much is affecting you or not. In fact, recently I read an article. The Gilead Life Sciences also is developing, remdesivir and all the injections, the course, the first line the medicines, Favipiravir and remdesivir and all. These injections are very difficult to administer, and then the course and all. So Gilead is coming out with easy to administer version with the inhaled, most after the antiviral drug, through inhaler. Imagine. So life will be so easy. Just you inhale your medicine.
Correct.
So one cannot deny the role of packaging in pharma industry in rapidly changing needs. So another thing which is very close to my heart, I tell you, you must have heard the transdermal patches, right? Transdermal patches are nothing but right now they are being used for some pain relief and usual very basic normal.
And even nicotine patches, right? Even nicotine patches.
Nicotine. So these are all meeting the basic requirements because of their limitation on to safeguard the efficacy of the highly complex drugs, etc. But believe me, the people will not sit idle. In the future, the companies are accelerating their R&D efforts also to meet the critical Medicare requirements also through this concept. And then imagine, you don't need to really swallow the bitter pills and inject this. And it's simply you apply it and without even you knowing it, actually, the drug is getting concentrated into your. And another thing also, which is very interesting, you must be using some the list in ODF, the orally dissolved pills, okay, just like peppermints.
Correct. Absolutely.
There's a mouth freshener. So far we know that only, but this pharma is very useful for pediatric and geriatric patients also, because they refuse to take the difficult drugs. If they are in the ODF format, simply they can put it on their tongue and it disappears. And whatnot, you can add some nice flavor also to it, not disturbing the composition of the drug also. I think this is also the more and more the research is happening. And I'm also emphasizing in the future something good will happen to that. And one more thing, it's very close to my heart, another innovation. Have you heard of medicinal straws? You know straws, English straws for drinking fruit juices.
Correct.
But there is worldwide ban the straws and all because of they fall under single-use plastics. That much. Medicinal straws are such, and you and me also, when we were kids, we were always trying to take medicines, right? And the mothers used to really struggle
True.
Administer they put it in a cap, and then they show something sweet on one hand, and they used to try to by force administer that the bitter liquid, and then they put some chocolate or peppermint. So no more. So this medicinal straws are nothing but these straws are already pre-filled with the desired medicine within that, and simply what you're going to do, you will ask your kid to have his favorite juice or a drink or whatsoever, but use only this straw, nothing. You understand?
Right.
So while using this straw, he takes that juice into his mouth, and while doing it, slowly the medicine also gets dissolved into the juice, and it goes into the water. How nice it is. So these are all simple yet very useful and user friendly concepts. That's where I always take pride in declaring that I am a proud packaging professional. Packaging comes in handy. For a layman, packaging is like a dabba or a box or something.
Correct.
Imagine you chose the right topic today, the pharmaceutical packaging advances, etc. It goes on and all. Artificial intelligence also in every field. Like we said, the concept of the smart packaging, NFC, what you call near field components, they're already there, but they will become a norm or standard in the future, which will actually help you to tell how much dose you have taken, and after that, what is your position and what is our layer. Everything is mapped actually. You don't need to do anything. You just use that packaging only. So you dispense your medicine and take it. Rest of the thing that integrated NFC will do its job. And it also monitors the diagnostics, also the online diagnostics happens, and also the corrective action also happens. Imagine in our childhood, we used to go to the physician umpteen number of times only for these purposes. So the packaging is handy. And also, have you heard of the digital pill also? The digital pill is nothing but you have their trial launch is already happening actually. You have an edible chip on the digital pill. You just swallow the digital pill, and inside, once you swallow, the stomach fluids will act on it, and you have a small patch on that, and it sends a signal to the patch actually how much, when the drug has to be delivered, and how much. It's a very intermittent drug delivery. Okay. So all the pill will not be melted within no time, but it is at intervals. And that from the patch and your smartphone, the signal comes, and this can be monitored by your physician. Imagine, I think this is completely endless. That's what we are talking about, implantable medical devices. You mentioned that in your question, actually, how the medical devices in the future. That is regulated drug delivery and all, they act. Another good thing is we all know, actually, we wear the wearable medical devices. So far, we only see for this exercise and
heartbeat, and that's true.
We use that, and it's not only measuring. Actually, many of them are already finding their applications, not just on monitoring purposes, like you said, heartbeat, etc., but also the respiratory, therapeutic pain management. Also, they are being used these devices. So, the more and more advances are happening. At the end of the day, I sincerely believe every innovation has to help the mankind to get benefited at large. This was the purpose. Everybody is striving to achieve their goals.
It's phenomenal. I mean, nobody would even, envisage that packaging has integrated so much of technology. And for a lot of people, at least a layman, it is just, as you said, one box with some labels and color codes on it. It's just so much more, and it's fascinating. But coming to this, it leads to two of my other next questions. One is, what about spurious drugs, rip-offs, and the packaging that's also involved? Because, that goes hand in hand with any pharma product. So how do you deal with it? What are your thoughts on it?
Sorry, Mridula. Actually, this is a little emotional topic to me as well. But counterfeit drug market, can you imagine the size of the drug market? 160 to a whopping $1 billion to $217 billion. Just the spurious drugs. Can you imagine? Imagine the years of research, the clinical testing, trials, meetings, approvals, ability, producing safety medication. Everything goes for a 6 just because of this. And not only that, it's not just a simple profit and loss, a simple industry is gaining or losing. It's not that alone. This is a life-threatening scenario. Can you imagine? In the world, even today, it's an estimation says 10% of all the worldwide medicines available are fake. So we are living the fake world. 120,000 people in Africa die alone due to fake anti-malaria drugs. These are whopping statistics. I think that's why. And one case study. In fact, one of the case in United States FDA warned the healthcare professional that a particular drug, it's called bevacizumab, a drug used in combination with chemo. We're talking about chemo to stop tumor growth. Found to be fake. Can you imagine that? And it turns out they were all given only cornstarch instead of medication.
Oh my God.
Just cornstarch. And hold your heart, before it landed in United States, these fake drugs have traveled through Turkey, Canada, Switzerland, Denmark, and Singapore, all these countries, advanced countries, and landed in US, and they were being given. Can you imagine? So these are all the situations. I don't say packaging alone will able to fight this, but definitely there are a lot of advanced packaging technologies are taking place to combat this. Say, for example, the digital water mats, which is not eligible to the naked eyes.
To our naked eye.
They can be integrated with the packaging to extract the information by using any cameras actually, and also the smartphones. In fact, Procter & Gamble has already implemented this technology at their recycling plants because across the US to achieve the goal of the sustainability, etc. The similar technology is also being employed to battle counterfeit medicines.
Okay.
When you talk about looking at new ways of integrating the traditional barcodes also, they're also being used. And packaging, as per me, should aid to complete track and trace serialization of drugs, right from manufacturer to patients, everywhere.
Right.
And using NFIC, the NFC, the near-field communication, the RFID, the technologies, I think these are all good things that are happening. What is important to note down is the entire product life cycle has to be tracked. It's not just the end of the life cycle.
Correct.
Right, from the laboratory to the reach of intelligent packaging should always aid the personalized healthcare and also not only that, enhance the brand. So, like you said, the packaging has a great role to play.
I'm so glad you touched upon this, and it's very, very unfortunate that we're living in times where people who need the drugs are actually cheated of the actual drugs, and there's nothing worse than somebody trusting a medicine to cure them but getting nothing in return. And I completely agree. You feel also.
Can't agree anymore.
Yeah. And how packaging industry can address the challenges in pandemic situations, especially like in COVID-19, because there is this huge challenge for a smooth supply chain for the pharmaceutical sector, especially even raw materials. As you can see, it's been quite a challenge for us as a society. How do you think the packaging industry can address this?
If you remember, Mridula, actually in the beginning of the very lockdown circumstances, everything came to a standstill. Right? Everything, whether it is a theater, whether it's a factory, it's an office, whatsoever. You may name, essential supplies, nothing actually, no milk. Literally, the milk was also stopped for 1 or 2 to 3 days actually. So nothing, literally. After that curfew, the Sunday curfew, immediately, I'm talking about the end of the March, I think. And after that, of course, for the essential services like pharmaceutical and healthcare, and also the food in particular, and also the protective equipment, and all these things were given permissions. Imagine, but without the logistics properly happening and all, without the supply chain being closely monitored, how things can happen actually. We all face this, I fully agree. The pandemic really exposed some gaps in our supply chain, Indian pharmaceutical industry. But you must agree that's the same situation all over the world. In fact, I was talking to many of my friends in European countries, in Australia to United States. Everywhere it's the same. In fact, in India, I must say, maybe doing a little bit better. But imagine at the same time, this was talk of the town those days, because the pharmaceutical industry was depending too much on imports, especially the APIs, the key ingredients and other things, and some of the packaging materials also. Even though actually India is net positive on packaging materials, barring a few material actually which are not manufactured, but the packaging material. It's not the question of whether the availability or how you are able to run your factories during the testing times. That was $1 million question. Actually, everybody really struggled hard, just like the frontline medical healthcare workers, doctors, physicians, laboratories, everywhere, pharmacists, even the pharmaceutical factories and packaging factories really worked under those pandemic situation, lockdowns, even currently. So,
right.
The situation is not so easy now. Actually, it's a critical, more critical aspect. So all of us are working, but as I was telling you, definitely the supply chain gaps were there, were visible under COVID-19 situation. Pharma companies are gearing to meet that accelerating demands, especially the packaging and labeling industries are also still unable to optimize to meet the demands. First, while some may not find job, but some of them are over the board and either they are unable to supply want of raw materials. Slowly, things are coming into normalcy because the logistics have been restored completely. The international flights have been restored completely. Of course, so to keep the total gamut of supply chain, pharmaceuticals afloat under the current turbulent conditions, it's very important to lend that helping hand for all the packaging and labeling manufacturers also equally to run these companies smoothly, because without that there is nothing. So yeah, it's a group effort, a team effort. Everybody is working towards this.
There is no sector without regulations. So my next question leads to that. What are the challenges to packaging as regards regulations, and what reforms, changes do you think we need to bring in the pharma packing for a better service to patients and, just to ensure the safety and integrity of the products themselves?
You chose very right questions today, Madhula. My compliments. Yeah. Why regulations in first place? Why? We are not responsible persons, or the person throughout the supply chain gamut, are they not responsible? These might be simple questions arise to the common minds. But imagine in the absence of regulation, what can happen? This will completely destroy the system. One small error,
right,
or one culprit in the whole supply chain can throw completely the system away, and you're paying the lives of the people. It's
exactly.
Not that okay, we got a wrong item, we can throw it. Okay, we wasted some money. It's not like that. You're actually your lives are at stake, your health is at stake. So without regulation, nothing can happen. But I always keep saying one should be transparent completely, whichever business you are in, whether it is here. But in this pharmaceutical business, it's more relevant. Unequivocal communication, completely, total transparency. It is a must at all levels, especially when you're working for an industry that makes products for life-saving, which you are talking about, and life-sustaining. It's not only life-saving, life-sustaining. So it's all the more important. So this is why you might be asking why it is related. It's actually related to the regulations. There is absolutely no chance for the shortcuts at any stage. Adherence, that is strictly to the regulations, and maintaining the perfect documentation. You cannot doctor your documentation,
right,
just to upkeep your factories, just to get your certificates done, etc. Maybe you might get short-term benefits, but tomorrow I think it's not only your patients and your users, your factory, your companies, everything will be at stake. So never go for the shortcuts. And this documentation, etc., is not a requirement here. It is going to be a norm. It's going to be a standard, or it's already a norm actually. That's on the behavior point. Okay, when we are talking. In addition, the pharma packaging always, the industry needs to embrace the rapidly changing technologies into their processes, and packaging innovations really have to meet ever-changing demands from the industry.
Right.
There the regulations come into act. One has to really understand the packaging safety is as important as the product safety. Unless this is safe, your product will not be safe.
Not be safe, correct.
Obviously. So the detailed understanding of constantly changing the regulatory landscape, because the regulatory landscape also keeps changing as per the design and development of the new drugs, the complex, highly complex and the highly potent drugs, and the ever-changing demands of the patients also. The smartness of the children also is increasing actually. For example, the child resistance laws 20-30 years ago cannot hold the same thing today. Your kid is smarter than you actually. He can open anything which was supposed to be a completely child resistant once upon a day. So the regulation has to update itself and the industry has to embrace the knowledge and then update themselves. And this is where the frequent the intervention of the regulatory. Fortunately, in India, actually, our FDA, what we call drug regulatory authorities, is well in control. Of course, there are certain problems and all between the industry and all. Always these can be dealt by dialogues. For example, when you're talking about the pharma packaging industry, they have to strictly adhere to the guidelines and standards. So flawless scrutiny also constantly.
Right.
I always recommend, there is one or two points I touch upon these important points. I always recommend to all my pharmaceutical CEOs, whenever I keep meeting and talking to them, look, my friend, have a packaging audit at least once in a while, once in a year, if not twice in a year. And you might be thinking all your packaging will be is very good and it's meeting your requirements. At the outset, it might look like that. Unless you have a total introspective audit, and then you will find a lot of flaws in that. And you can keep correcting that. The technology is available, so we can keep correcting the simple amendments into your current packaging, which eventually help your patients to have a better medication access, and then your company will have better profits also. Today we might think this is all unavoidable, but these are definitely helpful. So another thing on the labeling also, very often we come across, because the labeling has to address, especially when you are supplying to the medicines to the people belonging to various cultures, various vernacular, various languages, various geographical locations, and the readability and the accessibility, physically impaired, so much and so much. So you are supplying the same medicine to them. So you have to have the different kinds of labeling across when you are supplying the same medicines to different countries and all. It's a big challenge before all you might have come across a mile or a kilometer length of your label when you open it along, and which you end up not reading it all.
Absolutely,
so
that's very true.
We respect the law, we respect the regulations. In fact, I was also talking to the regulators. But recently, in some cases, I think relaxations are happening. Actually, you can have a simple digital label imprint on the bottle of pills or a strip of pills. You can just scan through your smartphone. Nowadays, you have smartphones everywhere, every nook and corner of villages also, and people are and whatnot. You can have the complete label in your vernacular, your readable format also. How easy it is.
Yeah.
And with a bigger font, you can enhance the font and all. Whereas regular physical labels and all, many times we end up not able to read at all. Actually, many times. So these things have to be taken care. I think the regulators are also doing their homework and because they have to take synergy into all the international regulations also. It cannot happen in isolation. So under the framework, under the regulations, people are trying to find a match point between the industry and the regulators. But at the end of the day, whatever you do, and that is for the good of the patient, and that is for the betterment of the patient, the longevity and the better health of the patient. We always say at World Packaging Organization, my standard mission statement: better quality of life through better packaging for more people. We strongly believe that.
I don't think anybody could have said that better. Thank you so much for taking the time off and giving us so much of information and actually being, so empathetic to the patients themselves, and not just treating this as another job or another industry. And we can't thank your services enough, or all of the packers and suppliers for the pharma industry as well. Thank you so much for taking this time off and being with us on this show.
It's really my pleasure, Nidra. Thank you very much for your time too. And you have asked wonderful questions, and I was so glad. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.